We are now going to be trackside as we go to 5 red lights for the Mexican Grand Prix. Aston Martin on pole, Ferrari beside them, lights out, and away we go. And I do think the Aston Martin did get a pretty good start, but can Mattia Manga in P3 get the better straight line speed, as the driver in third usually gets into first by the first corner, but he's being boxed in there by the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. Jay Snowy now up to P3. Can they make that move stick on the inside of the Red Bull? But we also have Gabor and Oliver not going side by side through turn 3, and it's still going to be wheel to wheel as we go down into turn 4, as we go into sector 2 for the first time. And will the Aston Martin be able to brake latest? And I think they do, but it's still going to be wheel to wheel with that Ferrari. But the Ferrari has the better traction around the outside. We'll have the inside for turn 5, and I think the Ferrari is just going to get marginally ahead. But Gabor is still going to try and fight this around the outside. And as we now go down into turn 7, who is going to be in front? And it is just going to be Gabor, and Oliver will have to settle in P2, and Jay Snowy will make the move into P3. A bit of commotion there in the background, as I think that is Weisbrand there going off the track and in the collision. And Gabor is out. I think I just saw that, and he's in the wall, and he's been told to give the position back to Runnard, as we do have a virtual safety car for that. And that was also another driver stopped on track there, Epic OJ, who's reset to track there. As we now go back to green flag running, and look at Jay Snowy. He got a great start on that Ferrari, but he cannot hold that going into turn 5 there, and has to sit behind Rev Rob there, looking really close to Mattia Manga, as I think going off the track there was another driver. Maybe not then, I'm just seeing things. But Oliver North is getting really close to Gabor. Can they try and get the move going into turn 12? And he is pulling to the inside, and he is past that Aston Martin as you go in, but he has gone off the track a little bit there. That could be seen as an overtake off racing surface there, but we'll see what the stewards will say as the bollard there gets taken away. As we now go down these straights, Gabor will have that DRS finally as we enter lap 3, and the fastest laps being set all over the shot. As we now go down into turn 1, Gabor then retakes the lead. Can Jay Snowy potentially get on in this? Down the inside of the Ferrari he's going to go, and he is just about to get into P2, but it's going to be wheel to wheel with the Ferrari. The Ferrari on the inside, but Jay Snowy will have the inside for turn 3, and he manages to get in front. But can Mattia Manga now make anything in the Red Bull, who is right behind that Ferrari? And I don't think he's going to make anything. He's going to sit behind. Are there any moves, though? Mabulej up in P7, I think, had a slight look down the inside of the Haas, but not able to make that move stick. Oh, I'm not too sure. Weisbrand, though, is going to look to go down the inside of the Williams there into turn 6. And he's still going to be wheel to wheel. Can he hold that going into turn 7? No, he can't, as there is a Sauber that's gone off the track there of Cintium, I do believe, as Weisbrand has been forced to cut the corner there. And Jake Dawser is not looking to give that back. It's turn 4. No, we go. No, or no, he doesn't. But Rev Rob trying to go down the inside of Tom and trying to get the move on Mattia Manga, but isn't able to. Tom Roberts will then take it back down the inside going into turn 6. And Rev Rob will fall down into P6. As Jason is a bit too far behind. As Sausage Joe gets the move on 1 and 2, I think. Tharlow making the move on Weisbrand as well, and I think Weisbrand has had a moment's sleep there, pulling to the inside very aggressively there, to trying to make the move on the Red Bull. And it's still going to be wheel to wheel as we go through there, and I think a little bit of a slide there from Weisbrand, which pushed his Sleek off a little bit, as I think that was also Cintium having a big snap as well. As Oliver goes off the track there, maybe picking up a warning. Or is Tom trying to go down the inside of Jay Snowy, trying to get the pass on the Aston Martin as well, but just gets the pass on 1. And I don't know if that was clean or not, because I did see that pretty late, as I think Mattia Manga had a snap as well. And Oliver Knott has put out an 8/10 gap, so let's go on board with Jay Snowy to see what he can do, as he's already going down the inside of Tom. Can he get the pass on Gabor as well? And he is really closing in. Is he going to try and send that? No, he isn't. But he's still going to be wheel to wheel with that Haas driver. The Haas gets back up into P3. Jay Snowy being boxed in a little bit around the outside. But Jay Snowy will maintain in P4. Techby gets the pass on Mattia Manga. Can Techby make the move on Jay Snowy as Gabor retakes the lead? Mattia Manga is looking down the inside. Can he get the pass on Techby? He's going to have the outside for turn 6. But Techby just about covers him off out of turn 5. And Rev Rob as well making the move on Mattia Manga. And the two McLarens are trying to keep that Red Bull behind. Round the outside goes Rev Rob. And I'll tell you what, that was a pretty good brave move there from Rev Rob, to get around the outside of turn 7 and keep that place. BRT Jacob, though, just behind, is going to sit in on this as well. With Starlo. Oh, Jake's had a moment. Going wide there, I think, out of turn 10, I do believe. Oh, as HB is forced to go through the outside there. Jason really covering off that move. But HB down the inside of the Alpine. Can HB clear that Alpine going into turn 6? Yes, he can. And can Revrob make the move, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Jason now down in P5, HB up to P4. But he does have that 3-second penalty. And so does Oliver as well. Oliver has the 3 seconds as well. As Tom gets through into P2 as well on Oliver. But Oliver is going to try and hold that down the inside going into turn 2. But isn't able to hold that. And Gabor and Tom get into P1 and P2. But Oliver is going to try and get past. But Techby is going to look to go down the inside of the Ferrari. And I think Techby is going to get into the podium positions. But Oliver holds it around the outside. Around the outside, Techby is going to try into turn 5 and into turn 6. And Techby's had a moment. And he's gone into the wall. And he's broken his front end plates. From what I seem to be wheel spin or something, and Jacob gets up into P4. Tom gets a 10-second speeding in the pit lane. And Tom could have been leading this race. What is it with drivers speeding into the pit lane? As I think Tom is put into the inside there to make a move on Mattia Manga. And does so. Is Rev Rob going to make the move on Jason Owie? Yes, he does, pulling to the inside. And I think Tom is going to try and get past as well. As Tom now goes up the inside of Jason Owie, round the outside of turn 2, back down the inside for turn 3, and just gets in front there. And Mattia Manga now trying to make a move on the Alpine TP. And I think with that mistake alone, Mattia Manga gets it. As now Jacob is going to try his look around the outside of the Alpine as well. Into turn 4, into turn 5 we go. The Ferrari on the inside. And just about gets through there without any contact. But into turn 6. And Jacob gets the move. Jason Owie dropping down many positions there. Is Gabor going to pull to the inside? Yes. Well, no, not at the moment. Yes, he does now. And he's going to get side by side with that Alpine. And it's turn 1, a little bit of contact, but he gets the move done. And now Jay Snowy is going to try and defend off Oliver Knott's behind as well. And Oliver Knott will go down the inside, and I don't think Jay Snowy can do really anything to defend that. As Mattia Manga gets into the lead, as Jay Snowy holds it down the inside. A little bit of contact there, as I think Jay Snowy was slightly spun there, as he tries to go around the outside of the Ferrari. But the out Ferrari just out tractions him there on the exits. And Sausage Joe could have been through there to try and make a move, but I think there was some contact in front that we didn't really see. And can Jacob make any further positions as we go down into turn 1? I think Rev Rob is looking really close to maybe try and make a dive on Mattia Manga, but he's not going to be able to. As there's a massive send there from Tom, and he gets down the inside of the Ferrari. Can he make that stick? Yes, he does. Just about. A little bit of contact, and the Ferrari's been forced off. Gabor is going to look to go down the inside of the Haas, and Gabor gets the move. As Tom is still going to try and fight this back on the Aston Martin. Latest on the brakes, and he just about gets in front, but round turn 5, and he is going to be behind. Now into turn 6, Tom now picks up a 3 seconds, and Oliver's going to try to make it 3 wide through turn 6. And that would have been very brave, but backs out. And Gabor gets into P3 at the moment. As the Ferrari of Oliver Knott there, though, goes down the inside. And I can't switch to him very quickly. Down the inside of the Haas, and he is going to be side by side. Around the outside of turn 2 is going to go. Down the inside into turn 3. Although I think Tom might have just gotten the better exit. But will Oliver Knott out-drag himself, or out-drag him into turn 4 with the DRS? Obviously, Tom has that exact same advantage. But Oliver Knott is still going to try and fight this down the inside into turn 5, into turn 6, and I think Tom just about gets in front. And I think that's going to be even more, evident here as we're going to see Gabor make a move on Mattia Manga, I assume. Pulls to the inside. Can he potentially try and get the move on Rev Rob as well as the Red McLaren trying to make the move on the Red Bull? But Gabor does go for it. The McLaren sticks behind. And Gabor gets back into the lead of the race. And on those 6-lap old hards, he can pull a gap. But what will Rev Rob do coming into this section is Tom once again goes for a send and tries to go down the inside of the Red Bull as well. Latest on the brakes, it's seeming to be from the Haas. Or as the Haas gets a massive snap, and that's going to leave him. That's going to leave Rev Rob vulnerable to Oliver Knott, as Oliver Knott is going to try to go down the inside. Can he get past? And it's side by side into turn 7. Not a lot of space left really for Rev Rob, but he manages to just keep it on the track. But Oliver Knott gets that move regardless. Good move from the Ferrari, as I think we might go 3 wide into turn 1 if none of them are careful. Gabor goes to the inside. Tom now goes to the inside. Can't really see, but they are going to go 3 wide momentarily in turn 1. As Gabor gets into the lead, as the Haas goes around the outside of the Ferrari, gets to the inside for turn 3. And the Haas pushing the Ferrari off there. That might give RevRob an opportunity to get past the Ferrari, but isn't able to find the space there. I think one of them is going to be Tom on Gabor, but let's see what Oliver Knott can do in that P3 spot. We'll obviously have that slipstream from the drivers in front, but Tom will move to the inside there, as you can see. And I think Jay Snowy is trying to break the toe of one of the cars as Tom goes a bit too deep into that corner, and Gabor retakes it around the outside going into turn 3. Can Oliver get down the inside of the Haas? Right on board with the Ferrari, and you can see that. And he's also trying to get the move on the Aston Martin as well. As he gets past 1, he gets past 2. Tom is back down the inside going into turns 4 and 5. But Gabor is also fighting with RevRob. Tom still trying to go down the inside of the Ferrari, but Oliver just about gets in front. Gabor still trying to fight with RevRob as we go into turn 7, and Gabor gets into P3. Just about defends off RevRob. Mattia Manga pulling to the inside as well as he's trying to defend off Jay Snowy. Jay Snowy goes around the outside. It's turn 1. We'll have the inside for turn 2, but a much better exit that Mattia Manga has through turn 2. But through turn 3, Jay Snowy has the better traction and goes through that Red Bull and gets back into P6 as Tom is going to go up the inside and gets that move. Oliver going to try to go down the inside of both of them as well, but can only go down the inside of the Aston Martin. We'll have the outside for turn 2. Through turn 3 we go now, and I think Oliver isn't able to get that, but he tried his best. Can RevRob get past this Ferrari as well? Is he going to pull to the inside? No, he doesn't. And he will elect to stay behind. But Jacob going around the outside of turn 5 on the McLaren, but then backs out going into turn 6. Tom already trying to make a move on Oliver Knott out of turn 17, but then we'll pull to the outside to get the racing line for the next corner. Well, not really the racing line, but you know what I mean. As he's going to go 3 wide in turn 1, but Gabor has the inside of Oliver as Tom gets through, and through turn 3 Gabor gets that move. And we're going to ride on board with RevRob and see if anything is going to be made. RevRob getting really close to that Ferrari, but the Ferrari of Jacob is going to send it down the inside of the McLaren. We'll have the outside for turn 5, and I think the McLaren is just about going to be able to stay in front, but through turn 6 we go now, and Jacob is going to try and keep his will there. And will he be able to keep it going into turn 7? No, he won't. And Gabor now gets a 3 seconds, so RevRob is on course to win this for McLaren. But as we now go down the straight up for the final time, Tom is going to make the move on Gabor. Is Oliver not going to be able to make the move on RevRob? No, he isn't, although he pulls to the inside at the last minute, but isn't able to get a wheel down the inside. Jay Snowy not able to make any moves either. Mattia Manga will stay in P7, Sausage Joe in P8, and Techaby is just there in P9. But Jacob gets the move on, although not there. Whether that is choreographed from Ferrari or not, I do not know, with Oliver not having that 6 seconds worth of penalties. Sleek gets the move on Epic OJ, but RevRob not able to make any moves of himself, but if he just stays where he is, he will get the win off penalties alone. Jacob will then get second, as I think Epic OJ might have had a moment out of turn 3 there, as we see Sleek and Neb going side by side. Sleek on the outside, Neb on the inside. And, oh, there's contacts, and both of them are fast spun, and Epic OJ spots that mistake from both of them, swoops down the inside. Sleek then trying to get down the inside of Neb and gets that position. And I'll tell you what, that was some good racing, but let's look up at the front, see if there are any last minute moves. No, there isn't, and it is going to be Tom who's going to come across the final corner, and he will win on track, but with Pens, RevRob will take the win. Jacob will then take P2. Jay Snowy will then take a podium spot in P3. Mattia Manga will then finish in P4. Gabor will then finish in P5. Still good points for him on his debut. Oliver Knott then will take P6 with Techaby in P7, so Jay Snowy will claw back some points on Techaby in the championship. Sausage Joe in P8. Runnard will then finish in P9. Neb Restroom will finish in P10 with the 2 Hasses of Epic OJ and Tom with those 29 seconds worth of penalties in P11 and P12. Sleek will then finish in P13 with Tharlo in P14 when he finishes, and Mabulech was a lap down. But Tharlo will come across the line to take P14. But what a crazy race that was. The DRS train at the top treating us to some absolutely amazing races. And Tharlo spinning across the line, probably in celebration or disappointments, and finishes in P14.